Government tells businesses, put QR codes back up. New Zealand at level 1, Auckland at level 2. Most of NZ moved to level 1 on September 21st, while Auckland moved to level 2 on September 23rd.
So then to the decision. Our good case numbers and confidence in the management of the virus means we can proceed with the decisions we indicated would take place a week ago. For Auckland, that means we have accepted the recommendations of the Director-General of Health to move to full Alert Level 2 arrangements from 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday, September 23. This means gatherings of 100 people will be permitted from Wednesday, 11:59 p.m. The reason for the delay is, of course, to make sure that the orders for those provisions can be drafted. The rest of New Zealand will move to level 1 from 11:59 p.m. tonight, Monday, September 21. And that's because we were able to, in advance, gazette and draft the orders for that alert level change as we anticipated them at the last Cabinet meeting. Level 2 for Auckland will be in place for 14 days, or one transmission cycle, meaning Cabinet will meet again on Monday, October 5 to review those settings. If we remain on track, it would then be our intention to consider moving alert levels from Wednesday, October 7. Again, this is all conditional on us continuing as we are now. Some may query the cautious approach we are taking. It's worth noting that the last time we moved to level 1, we did so after no cases for 14 days and only 2 cases in the full month we were at level 2. Also, analysis completed for the Ministry of Health suggests that by the end of this month, there is still a 50-50 chance of having eliminated COVID once again. That is cause for us not to get ahead of ourselves and to remain vigilant. For this reason, we need people in Auckland to continue to stay home if they are sick and get a test, even if it is just a sniffle or a cough. Scan into places with the COVID app or keep a good record of where you are and where you've been so we can increase the speed of our contact tracing. Continue to wear face coverings. With these settings, anyone in Auckland will still need to wear a face covering on buses, trains and ferries in the city because, of course, we are still at alert level 2. For air travel, face coverings will be required on any planes that are going to, from or through Auckland. This is now, of course, as I say, standard practice for alert level 2 settings. We also ask people to wear a face covering in situations where they're unable to maintain physical distancing. And you're from Auckland and travelling outside, please take your alert level settings with you, and that includes when it comes to large-scale mass gatherings. For everyone else outside of Auckland, we still have asks for you as well. Please continue to use the COVID app. Maintain good hygiene practices. Stay home and get tested if sick. And if you are travelling on a plane that isn't travelling in or out of Auckland, you are not required to wear a mask, but we do still encourage it. For your safety and for the safety of those around you, you should consider doing the same for all inter-regional travel as well. Now that the rest of the country is back at level 1 freedoms from 11:59 p.m. tonight, we want to stay there. So these actions are a small price to pay to ensure that we can maintain these settings for as long as possible.
Businesses are being reminded they must provide contact tracing tools at all COVID-19 alert levels after almost 200 complaints about missing QR codes and lack of physical distancing. When New Zealand, except Auckland, moved to alert level 1 on September 21, most temporary restrictions and requirements for businesses were eased. However, under COVID-19 legislation, businesses are required to display the official NZ COVID Tracer app QR codes at all alert levels. A spokeswoman for Worksafe, which is responsible for enforcement, said it had issued 8 verbal direction notices to hospitality businesses for COVID-19 related issues since August 12. That was out of 362 assessments of businesses, 192 of which were the result of complaints, predominantly about physical distancing. The remainder were proactive visits, she said. Worksafe was also being contacted with concerns about contact tracing, including the display of QR codes, seated service, hygiene, and the wearing of masks. On Tuesday it issued its first infringement notice to a business for failing to display a QR code.
There's some more. They're doing their inspection. Hoi hoi.
Show you once again the warrant. Common three presence here in Canada. We have a this way. You look over there, please. Look over there, please. There's the Queen. Are you above the Queen? Are you above the Queen? Are you above the Queen? This is not a bridge. Are you above the Queen? Are you above the Queen? Are you above the Queen? You're not above the Queen. Thank you very much. Now get out of here. Because you're not above the Queen, and doesn't make the law. Any answer now?
Why didn't you sign in, Colin? There's a register there, why didn't you sign in?
Okay, so you don't respect the Queen. 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 Don't you respect the Queen? Don't you respect the Queen?
Worksafe. Good on you. Good on you, Dilip. So they just gave you a fine. Was it $300?
Worksafe has generally been happy with the level of compliance in relation to QR codes. The feeling is that most businesses want to get it right and ensure they are following guidelines appropriately. Businesses not displaying the poster were liable for a fine of $300, while repeated breaches could lead to a court-imposed fine of up to $1,000, a Ministry of Health spokeswoman said. The ministry would contact all businesses that had already generated QR codes to provide them with new copies of their posters in case they had been damaged or removed, she said. Hospitality New Zealand said members were reminded weekly of their contract tracing obligations as businesses, including displaying the QR poster, as this was a legal requirement. A reminder shared on the Unite Against COVID-19 Facebook page attracted more than 350 comments, many complaining about businesses not displaying QR codes or providing other contact tracing tools. Hearing numerous reports of places taking them down, and not responding to queries/requests to put them back. What's the best way to ensure compliance? One person wrote. Note, these aren't small businesses, these are major hardware and supermarket chains, etc. The official COVID-19 Tracer app has more than 2.2 million registered users. Unite Against COVID-19 advised people to remind businesses of the requirement to display a QR code. Breaches could be reported to Worksafe. Foodstuffs spokeswoman Antoinette Laird said its stores, which include New World, Pack and Save and Foursquare, would continue to display QR codes at all alert levels. Customers having trouble locating the poster were advised to ask a staff member, or at customer services in the store. Countdown had provided QR code posters to all of its stores and asked them to display them prominently at entrances, a spokeswoman said. In addition to this, we also have a manual check-in sheet at the front of all stores in case a customer forgets their phone or is otherwise unable to use the QR code poster, she said. If ever there's a store where customers are having trouble checking in, just let us know so we can fix this. There was a marked increase in people scanning into businesses from mid-August, with 33,282 scans on August 11 rising to more than 1.1 million a week later. From September 1 to 12, more than 2 million scans were recorded daily. The surge followed Auckland's move to Alert Level 3 on August 12 and QR codes becoming mandatory for businesses on August 19. From September 3, all bus, train, ferry, ride-share vehicles, and taxi operators have also been required to display the posters. The Ministry of Health is contacting all businesses that had already generated QR codes to provide them with new copies in case posters have been damaged or removed. Although scanning rates have tailed off to more than 1 million daily scans since the move to Level 1, people are still downloading the app. As of Monday, there were 2,281,100 users registered on the COVID Tracer app, up from 2.25 million on September 23. The app had recorded more than 77 million poster scans and users had created almost 3.4 million manual diary entries. Any business yet to generate an official QR code could get started by visiting the Ministry of Health website, the spokeswoman said. According to ministry guidelines, QR code posters should be printed in A4, in color if possible, and should be displayed in a prominent place or near the main entrance. The top of the poster should be approximately 1,300 mm from the ground so everyone can scan.